Hi, this is Sal Tuzzolino, host and ringmaster of the Sports Circus, the big top of sports talk radio. Did you hear this?
And then I did, Super Bowl as a player, assistant coach, and 2 as a head coach. And working for Al Davis, I should be in the Hall of Fame just for working for Al Davis.
Right. Clown around with us and stream the show online at thesportcircus.com. Join me and special guest 3-time national champion and 4-time Rose Bowl champion coach John Robinson this Saturday morning from 8 to 9 here on NBC Sports 920, The Game. Okay, and welcome back to segment 3 of the Sports Circus here, WCOBM. Catch the Sports Circus tomorrow at 8 a.m. on AM 920, NBC Sports The Game here in Las Vegas, or stream the show live at thesportcircus.com. This segment is brought to you by Seattle Dan's Pizza, Pasta, and Grinders, located at 8465 West Sahara at Durango. Call in your lunch or dinner order at 702-946-6262. Tell them the Sports Circus sent you, get 10% off. Go see Dan. Dan's a great guy. I don't know if you've ever been there, but Dan's one of my favorite business people in the entire city. When you walk into his pizza place, it's like going back to 1970. He's got the old picture tube TV. It's black and white. He leaves TV Land on.
Nice.
Oh, it's great.
Nice.
You know,
I'm going to go there when we're done. When we're done, I'm going to go to Dan's and get some pizza.
It's great. It's great. He's that guy. It's like, hey, man, what's happening? You know, and you want to just sit and have a drink with him because he's that guy.
I'm really going there.
Right? Bring the family.
I'm taking the kids.
Dan,
we're going, yeah.
They're coming, Dan.
We're coming.
Better make a lot of pizza. All right. So, just wrapping up the boxing segment. Is there any? What is your final goal at the end of your boxing career? Because I mean, let's face it, it's only going to go until you want it to end. Because at your age right now, you could box till you're 80. If you look at your conditioning,
I'm not going to get any older.
It's ridiculous.
I certainly won't get any older between now and 60. So, because from 52 to 60, you really don't get older if you take care of yourself, and I do. So, I want to fight for a world title. I really, my whole life, I've put the work in. I've paid my dues. Mm-hmm. I've done what's been asked of me from the promoters, from the sanctioning bodies, and now I want my opportunity.
Well, you've had some really significant fights with some very big names in there.
And they did that, and they're the young fighters. I was 12-1. I fought Michael Moore, who was 29-0. He was the WBO champion of the world. Their opponent fell at last minute, so they called me on a Tuesday to fight on a Friday. I want a real opportunity.
Right.
I want them to say,
there was no prep time.
Yeah, I wanted them to
say. And they were even saying that on the ringside announcement that Billy Wright didn't have the time to prepare for this. And even Michael Moore was like, well, it was kind of a last minute thing because he had prepared for somebody else. Right, and so nobody really knew what they were getting. That really wasn't a fair fight.
No, but it was fun though. I tell you what, you boys watch the Michael Moore Billy Wright.
That was at Mirage, right?
Yeah, that was MGM Grand.
Oh, was it MGM?
MGM Grand. I fought 3 times at Caesars, a couple times at MGM Grand anyway. So, but you guys watch the fight and you'll see that. I was like, you know what? I was winning the fight until I ran out of gas. If you see me for a round and a half, I gave it heck, and then you see me go, I'm tired.
I can't imagine just getting in there and just getting hit and hit.
Michael Moore's an outstanding fighter, by the way. Great champion, great guy. Michael Moore is really a good person.
Nice straight right.
It really, yeah. He's a great southpaw. A real quick history, real quick. I know we have a few things to talk about. George Foreman. I spent 18 months with George Foreman.
You sparred with George.
18 months, probably 1,000 rounds with Big George. What an amazing man! This guy. He is.
You have the glow of George Foreman. No kidding.
Yeah, George.
Because I know if you guys at home take a look at this guy. Look at this noggin right here. Doesn't his smile and his features it screams George Foreman? George, it makes me want to go to the grill and have one of those sandwiches.
Sounds me too. I'm kind of hungry. I keep talking about this.
All right, Seattle Dan's.
Seattle Dan's. So I spent 18 months with George, and he really taught me. He took me kind of under his wing, and he said, you know what, this guy. If you do this, he goes fight like a middleweight, and to be a heavyweight, he goes, and you're gonna. And then when we real quick, Ken LaCusta, George Foreman, up in Canada, and George Foreman's at a press conference. He goes, Billy, when he hits me, it's like electricity. Bzz, bzz. I always gotta tell Billy, take it easy, Billy, take it, Billy, because he was older then. I was a young kid then. I was probably young kid, but I was 27, 28 years old, and George was in his mid 40s. And so I look back now, and I'm like going, man. I'm so happy that I've been able to. I'm not following his footsteps. George Foreman is a much greater fighter than me, much greater champion. I hope to be half the fighter that George was in his comeback. So,
George is a great human.
Yes.
As long as you could be a great human isn't that really what matters?
Yeah, right. That's right.
I mean, all the
He's
hardware is
best.
great,
Yeah.
but George is just a happy human.
It really is.
And he's really living. And, you know, you with the kids, etc., that's really all you can ask for. You're doing the best thing that you can for the kids by homeschooling them. You've done a lot of great stuff, and you're going to continue to box.
Yes.
You will continue to fight. Look at the size of his hands. Look at. I'll put mine next to his. Here, do it closer to here.
Yeah, go like this.
That's crazy. Look at that. That's nuts.
Yeah,
That's like putting my head next to a wrecking ball. Anyway, so much success in that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Let's shift over to the game that we saw last Sunday,
Yes,
and we saw a ridiculous Super Bowl.
it was wonderful.
It was very exciting, and
It was wonderful.
I got to tell you, don't know this about me, but through the year, I've basically been the prognosticator,
Right.
and through the year, I actually against the line, I'm at 81.2% against the spread, which is completely unheard of.
Right.
That's nuts, and I'm giving the shows away every week. I'm giving the picks away every week right here on this show, and what we're doing every week, we're coming away with stacks and stacks and stacks of chips. Why? Because that's what I do. I give people winners. I gave people winners all year long. And if you bet them, guess what? Boom. You went and you had chips. And hopefully you cashed them out and you took your family out for a nice dinner or something, or maybe on vacation. Anyway, so this game, I had the score off. I had the right sides. I had New England and over. It was over at that. It went off at 59.5. It opened at 59.5, and it went off. It closed at 57.
Right.
So I had New England +3, or -3, excuse me, and the over and under. I actually predicted it at 64, right on the nose.
Wow.
I had 41-23 as my final. A little wishful thinking, hoping that New England would really pound them. But at the end of the day, winners win.
Yes.
And even I had the coin toss right. Oh, this is great. You guys are going to love this. Roll back last week's episode. I had the coin toss right. It's ridiculous, right? But more importantly, I had Matt Ryan throwing for 303 yards, 2 touchdowns. I had 1 fumble, which he fumbled. Yes, he did. And he threw for 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Yes, he did. And I had 1 interception. And the only reason the interception didn't happen was the guy's foot was literally that far out of bounds.
Yes.
The cornerback. But I had it right on the button. This is
Yes.
crazy. I mean,
Yes.
folks, it's not an accident. It just happens and happens and happens. I thought for the first few weeks maybe it was an accident. Not so. I mean, when it happens 18 weeks in a row, 19 weeks in a row through the playoffs,
Amazing.
that's lunacy.
Yes. It's
Right?
amazing.
They should be paying me. The casino should be calling me.
They should be calling.
But what I don't do is I don't bet them. Maybe one week I did bet. I got to tell you this. I had a 15-team parlay. I bet one of those teaser cards, right?
Right.
I bet a 15-team parlay. It got all the way to Monday night. It was a game with the Denver Broncos and Oakland Raiders. And I lost by 2 points.
Oh,
the
man.
final game. I had everything else. And everything else came in easy, too. I actually had the right sides, never mind the point spreads.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I give it away every week. I mean, typically if I bet it, I can't pick my nose. But guess what? I mean, it's been going well. This game has been very exciting. And let's face it, you had, I can't say you had David and Goliath because you really had the MVP in Matt Ryan. And then you had an offensive coordinator that made some choices, which I think inevitably cost them the game.
Right. It was a great game. Look at what the Atlanta Falcons. They represented themselves very well. They
did.
came to a championship game and they played like champions. The difference was that the Patriots came to a championship game and played like current champions, former champions, and now new champions again.
Exactly.
So they had the championship experience. They've been in those championship rounds,
Right.
so to speak. And the Falcons didn't have the ability to close. If they would have closed him, they would have taken it home.
Well, Julio Jones only had 4 receptions. He had that one incredible catch,
Right.
which at the end of the game, at that moment in the game, that could have sealed the deal with the
Right.
extra field goal.
Yes.
But instead, Shanahan decided to throw the ball. Why would you do that? Basically 3 runs, put yourself in the middle of the field, kick the field goal, put the game out of reach.
Exactly.
11 points with just a few minutes left. But they chose not to do it. They ended up eventually losing the ball and losing the game. But, he only had 4 receptions in the whole game. And, the reception averaged at 21, almost 22 yards apiece. The problem is you got to go a little bit more towards him.
Right.
How do you discount the best receiver in the game? I think he's the best receiver in the game.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, and they could have utilized him better, much better.
Yeah, I think they made some mistakes. I mean, let's face it. New England kept him off the field.
Yes.
They kept the offense off the field, and that was obviously their goal. MVP, got to keep him off. We'll pick that up in just a couple of minutes on the other side here from the Sports Circus, WCOBM.